Hello everyone, Mark Callender here with the Callender Home Team and Remax Results, and I wanted to talk with you today about inspections, and specifically to my sellers or potential sellers out there, or whoever you're going to use when you do sell your home. I've got some advice for you. I don't want you to give your buyer's inspector any ammunition, and what I mean by that is inspectors have the top three things that they look for in an inspection. Number one is going to be the roof, and so you need to make sure that that is not leaking into the attic. You may not even see signs into your house. It could be leaking into the attic. So if you've had any storm damage in the past or anything like that, it might be good to have an inspection done in your roof. Number two would be the foundation. You would know if you've got foundation issues. You'd be seeing some big cracking outside. You might see some water intrusion in the basement, things like that. And then number three that they look at is your utilities and your mechanicals. This is a big one. Even though it's number three, this is, in my opinion, probably one of the biggest items that always seems to come up. And what I mean by don't give your buyer's inspector any ammunition is, you know what, have that furnace cleaned and inspected. Same with the air conditioning. Have your water heater looked at. Have your electrical panel looked at. These things can ward off big issues when the inspector comes in for the buyer, when they're looking for things to tell your buyer, you know, in a buyer's mind, these things could be costing $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, when really you could have avoided this with a $200 inspection or a $300 inspection. You know, you don't need to have a whole home inspection, but these are the top three things that the sellers need to look at prior to putting their home on the market. I want to give you a really good example of what took place with one of my listings a while back. And this seller, he thought that he was never going to move. He rehabbed this house, did it on his own, did great work, but never pulled any permits for plumbing, electrical, and things like that. It got resolved, but in the meantime, the buyer, who had a full price cash offer, quick closing, ready to go, pulled their offer because even though he disclosed in the disclosures that permits were not pulled during the time that he repaired this house, they decided that no, we don't want the house. And it was mainly because permits weren't pulled, and they didn't want to have to potentially have issues later. He got all this resolved, had an electrician come in, those types of things. And so everything got taken care of, but he did lose out on the deal. And it's a great house, but the buyer's perspective was, we're going to have issues down the road. So anyway, to wrap things up, if you're going to do your own work, pull permits, and make sure things are done correctly, because it will come back to haunt you in the later date. So anyway, that's my information for today, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Have a great day. I'm Mark Callender with the Callender Home Team. Thank you.